It's been exciting to record the history of French African missions. In part one of this series, we did hear from Nina Toyo, who's been on the missions team for 32 years, the only of 21 members of that team to Abidjan who is still there till date. In today's edition, we're going to learn from her husband how the administrative side of the missions fared, because he did lead the administration. I remember 94 when I went to Abidjan, he was the administrator of the church back then. And like in Acts 6, as the numbers grew, the needs grew, and so administrative gifts and skills needed to rise up, and he is one of those who did an amazing job. Enjoy my conversation with Julien Toyo. Wow, Julien, thanks so much for granting this. I know you're a busy man, but you're taking some time out so we can have this conversation. And I know I met you in 1994. I was coming in from Germany as a young student when I came to join the mission here. And I still have that picture of you taking care of the administration of the church. I still remember the small office the three of you were squeezing yourselves into. And so I just wanted to find out from you, just like Nina shared about the evolution of the church, what has it been like watching the church grow in numbers and probably get to adapt the administrative aspect to the growth that has been going on?
Yes. Thank you for this conversation. I remember back in the day, running the church out of a small place,
Cubicle.
Cubicle.
That's right.
The three of us back then. I was, having a team of three. We're doing, keeping the stats, taking care of the contributions. That's and right. the means. Church was very small. Started in 1993. The church started in 1989. And Dr. Ackenwaller took care of the administration for a few years and then handed it to me.
Wow.
So the challenge was to build a strong administration. I mean, this is the church. Structure, everything. And then the church started growing. I remember the statistics back then, from a few hundreds, 500, and then to 1,000. By the time Hervé left here,
that's right.
And then there's a new leader that came.
That's right.
I remember particularly 1994, December, where we had to send off the first
mission
team to Douala, Cameroon.
That's what brought me here.
Exactly.
That's right.
And then next one I believe was Ouagadougou or Kinshasa, and then on and on, sending those teams from
French Africa.
From here to French Africa all over the place. So it was exciting. It was an exciting time.
Oh my goodness.
Challenging but very exciting. A lot of organization, prayer.
Yeah.
Just see, the seed that came here, going through out to every big city in French-speaking Africa.
That's
It
right.
was so exciting.
That's right.
And being part of that, being at the heart of it.
Yeah.
Even up to today, I see some members of those teams, they've been to the mission team and they came back.
That's right.
And they hear their family people.
Yeah.
And some are still on the mission team.
That's right.
It's exciting.
That's right. Absolutely. And so I'd like you to talk a bit more about how interconnected are missions and administration from your experience.
For me, it's very connected. It's really tight-knit. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We've been trained. Administrators from other churches usually come and we go and we train. And what I've been taught every time is that it's one team, and administration is not here to say, no, we cannot do this, no, we cannot do that, but yes, we can do it, and we figure out how we can do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's very tight-knit, and we see many people involved in administration become deacons.
That's right.
Because, the chances that you meet so many ministry people.
That's right.
Administrators are supposed to be very spiritual people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have devotionals on Daniel in the Bible.
That's right.
Being a man of vision, so that the whole team, following the ministry people, we are in the same vision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And many have become deacons, elders.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's really one team. It's really one team.
I like what you're saying, because I know some years back, I wasn't really, I wouldn't say I knew how things functioned before. A couple of years ago, I know we're now pretty much into like the board system.
Yes.
Was that the case in the early days that we had?
In the early days, no. Things were simpler.
Yeah.
Now, as one of the administrators in New York taught us in the beginning, there are different rules for different sizes of churches.
Fantastic.
For smaller churches, there's a simpler way to do it.
That's right.
But when you grow big,
Yeah.
then you need more structure.
That's right.
Yeah, you need a finance committee or a board of directors, board of trustees.
That's right.
There are many levels of decisions, so things need to be
That's right.
more organized.
Put in place.
Yeah,
That's right.
So, I would say Abidjan Church is going through all that.
Those different stages.
And maybe putting in place structures to resolve current issues.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's morphing into different shapes.
As a needs arise.
As a needs arise.
That's right. I know apart from administration, you also have a passion for, as a Bible student, we're all doing a master's program together. I'd like you to say something about the impact of the teaching ministry in church growth and church maturity.
Yes, I may say good change that I believe I've seen in our churches. As the Bible mentions it clearly, it says a team. We all need to do our ministries for the edification of the saints.
Ephesians 4.
Yes, we need evangelists, we need administrators, we need teachers,
Yeah.
we need elders, and we see, in Africa, teachers being appointed, everyone, people like me interested in going deeper in the Word of God, to teach it, to tackle certain issues that are not so obvious, so that the disciples can be fed at a deeper level.
That's right.
Evangelists are doing it already, but teachers can go even further, and it will just be one team.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you joined Nina in talking about the fact that you guys were not imagining spending 32 years here, but what has it been like to have God surprise you?
The old timers, many of our friends from back then.
That's right.
Either in the US or in Europe.
That's right.
But we're around. We're around. I'm happy that we're around.
That's right.
God has blessed us with a, great. Blessed me with this wonderful
You can
woman.
say that. You can say that again.
And,
my big sister.
And wonderful children. And we're just happy to be here. To be in the church, growing, hopefully making friends, and contributing, with what God gives us.
Man, we're grateful for just the amazing impact and just with so much simplicity, hospitality that you guys have been and continue to be, just providing some kind of like maturity and stability to the church here and by extension churches across French Africa. So thanks so much. God bless you for your hearts and thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk soon. Welcome back, and I hope you did enjoy the conversation with Julien Toyo and had the administrative view of missionary work. As a missionary, it's also important that we learn to renew our energy, our spiritual strength. Otherwise, there's a danger for burnout. Personally, I loved going to quiet places, and everywhere I go, I'll look out for quiet places where I can get replenished, can renew and replenish my spiritual tank. Enjoy in the next 2 short clips some of those places I found out in Abidjan. I'm right here in Abidjan, in Cocody. Yeah, I'm here on a trip to condole with the brother, but also taking full advantage of the time here to visit, to actually go on the pilgrimage and visit certain places that really impacted the missions in Abidjan. And one of those famous places is just at a walking distance from here, where we had a brother's flat. And the brothers who lived in this flat led multiple ministries. I was leading campus. There was a brother leading one of the major regions here, living in the flat. And similar, situations where we're all like a flat of leaders. And this was one of the gardens we used to come to pray, to have quiet times, to meditate. Not well kept anymore like it was back then, but you get a feel of a quiet environment where I'll come here early in the morning or late in the evening to just reflect over my day, how it went, or prepare for a new busy day. Mark 1:35 in action. And so the memories abound, just being able to come back here. And it just inspires me to think about how we can take something that looks this ordinary, but because of the memories we create, because of what we did with that season of our life, that stage of life, coming back here now feels like I'm here on a pilgrimage. And so we can take the ordinary or seemingly mundane hours and days and weeks and months and years of our lives and create history for God and write the book of Acts in our own generation. I think that's what we actually did. And so coming back here really inspires me to reflect on God's faithfulness, but also on the decision, for me personally, who just turned 50, to make the next decade count. I pray these thoughts will inspire you, and to God be the glory. Looking forward to visiting some more sites. Man, I'm feeling very nostalgic at this time because I've succeeded to get access right here in Abidjan into one of my quiet places where I used to come and pray, meditate. Even on days when I just needed to rest, I would just come and sit around this garden at the back of Hotel Ivoire. That's a hotel right here, one of the renowned hotels. And I was leaving at some point at walking distance from here, and I'll spend my days by the lakeside here, meditating, praying, and you could actually see the business district of the city on the other side of the water. Beautiful scenery, and it's just an emotional experience to be here once again and to remember. It's amazing the memories that just come back when you find yourself in an environment like this. This just comes to emphasize the emphasis, I like that. Just, the importance of taking time out and just being able to connect with God in quiet places. A closer look just gives us a sense of the city center, and we have those tall buildings by the right. Was one of the parts of town we did a lot of ministry in. We'll meet there by midday when people are taking their lunch break, and we'll organize Bible talks and speak in the public. It was an amazing time, amazing season in the history of the mission here in Abidjan. I just couldn't help but capture these few images and just share my heart and the excitement I feel to be able to visit a place like this. Feels like a holy place. Feels like, just history being made again. And so, yep, thanks for the opportunity to be able to share this and just be an eyewitness and reminisce. And I pray that God's movement and God's Spirit continues to work even as we pass the dream, we pass the torch to the younger generation. With God's help, it's going to happen. Wow, can't help but walk down there and have a prayer time before I leave the place. Thank you. Yeah, it was a short edition, part 3, but I want to thank you for taking our time to watch. In the next edition, we're going to have actually some typical French-speaking brothers and sisters interviewed, and you'll have, the subtitles in English of incredible missionaries who left Abidjan to go plant churches, and some who stayed on ground and contributed in an incredible way till date to the growth of the missions in French Africa. Thanks for your time and stay tuned.